We're back with a brand new episode of Bickering with Moti and Christian. We've been a little bit MIA for the last 3 weeks.
You've been MIA.
Yeah.
I've been here in New York City for the past 2 weeks.
Okay, well, we didn't really plan this proper because, you know, there's people that travel and, like, they will pack, you know, a set of gym clothes with them and then they get to their vacation and never wear it. And it's just like they have this overweight luggage, pack the gym clothes with them, and then they never really work out. Mm-hmm. That's what we did with these microphones. We brought microphones with us to record an episode
in Israel.
That's
where we were.
We were going to actually record. And I mean, realistically, we were never recording. And these were like heavy microphones. Yeah. They like took up like half of my carry-on.
We didn't do it because we had such a great time there.
And shout out to Isaac. I know he's listening because he always asks us, you know, Isaac, your friend that you just recently followed on Instagram.
Oh, my ex-friend and now friend again.
Okay, well, thank you, Isaac, for loaning those to us.
We didn't use them.
We didn't use them in the
Thanks
end,
for nothing.
You'll get them. You'll get them back.
Okay, so we were away in Israel for...
Before we, you know, jump into our trip, we obviously have so much to talk about. I haven't even asked Christian his thoughts, his opinions. We made sure not to talk about the trip while we were on the trip.
But have you noticed something new in my look?
Yeah, I see. Well, we're going to talk about it. Like,
what do you think?
I just like went on Instagram while I was in Israel and I saw someone decided to go all Barbie.
Well, it's
the season.
It's the season, no? I look like Ken from Caribbean King to Caribbean Ken now.
That's it. He's the new Caribbean Ken.
You know who gave me this name? Caribbean Ken?
Who?
Brad Goreski. Shout out to him. He called me the Caribbean Ken. So
Caribbean Ken.
It's stuck.
What made you want to get...
I mean...
You're going through a midlife crisis, I see.
Yeah, once you turn 30, things like this happen. Like, I got my ears pierced not long ago, both. And then, I have to be honest, there is this kid that I follow on Instagram, and he did it like 3 months ago.
What's his name?
I don't remember. Joe.
Joe.
Joe. Let's call him Joe.
Interesting. Okay, so it's Christian's side piece, is what he's
we
saying.
met at the Eagle one night.
Oh, okay.
We're friends. He's a model. He's a Brazilian model in London. I follow him.
What's his name?
No, he doesn't listen to this podcast, but I can't remember. I just remember his Instagram.
Well, what's his Instagram handle?
He's Joe. That's what his name is. He's one of my
Joe.
close friends. Let me just say. He's very good looking, and that's why I did it. Yeah, his name is Joe.
Oh,
yeah, Joe Ryan. I was right. He did it, and I've been like obsessed with his look, and I'm like, you know what? It might look good on me, and it took me a bit of a courage to do it, but I already set the trend because I see a lot of my followers and people, close friends that are doing it now. Which is,
you follow the trend and now you're setting the trend.
Yeah, exactly.
You're continuing the trend.
Exactly.
You're keeping the trend alive.
But what do you think? I think it looks great.
I loved it. I actually feel like the person that did your hair did a really good job with the coloring and the lighting. I feel like it fits.
He's a true professional. I love him. He's been doing my coloring for the past year and a half, and like I
the roots are coming out already.
Yeah, well, but it's part of the look.
Yeah, honestly, I don't mind it.
I think
actually,
it looks great.
I like it like that.
It took me 5 hours to do it.
Wow.
If you have black hair with dark pigment, it's gonna take a while. Don't do it yourself at home. You really need professional help to get the right color. You can't do it yourself because I already saw someone doing it at home, and he was posting that chunks of hair were falling off. So you really need to pay a professional to do this.
I would never let anyone else do it except a professional.
I mean, unless you're blonde, then it won't take a lot. Right. But you don't want this yellow color. You want
I've always wanted to color my hair. I've never colored it.
Your twin brother didn't.
My twin brother did it, and I mean, I love it, but I feel like it wasn't for him. It's not for everyone, and I feel like it wasn't for him. But now I know what I would look like. But you know what? I wouldn't do blonde. He did like light blonde. I would have done like probably like.
But this is a gold.
Yeah,
color.
like I would probably do like.
Not platinum.
Not red, but like a dark, like that guy from what's it called? That show.
I don't know.
AJ. What's AJ? The guy from Riverdale.
The red color.
The red hair, yeah.
AJ
something. Whatever. Yeah. I just like his hair
I wanted
color.
that look on me, but everybody can say no. And when I mentioned that I wanted to do this, everybody can say no. But look, it looks great.
Yeah.
So you know what? If you want to do it. And if you fuck it up, then you just color it again, and that's it. I actually need to change it back because I'm the best man for my best friend.
Wedding.
in August, and I feel like
Christian's leaving me to France for 8 days, so I'll be in New York. Hit me up. Actually, he'll be gone for 10 days. Hit me up. I'll be here. Let's hang out.
I'm actually going to the south of France for 2 weeks.
Exactly, 14 days.
If anyone is going to be in Saint-Tropez, please hit me up.
Yeah.
And then when I'm back, he is going to Israel again for 2 weeks. So basically,
Not
we're going to spend...
I'm going in 3 weeks. Supposedly, allegedly, who knows?
So we both are going to be single for the next month of July?
But I'm definitely planning on going somewhere in August. I don't know yet.
We're going together.
Well, yeah, I told you too.
To reconnect, rekindle the flames. After spending a month apart.
Well, Christian, tell us how your weekend was, and where did we go spontaneously? Where you dragged me?
Padam Padam.
The Padam Padam.
What do you think? We went to see Kylie Minogue.
We saw Kylie Minogue.
Very far away from the city.
Christian's the president of the fan club.
No, well, from Venezuela, probably. Yeah, sure. But I do love Kylie, and I didn't even know she was here. I think we talked about her the other day.
The promotion of it
KTU
of it wasn't great because obviously like there was a lot of sections that were empty, but
it's also a journey to get there.
It was a journey to get there. It wasn't so bad. It was an hour and 20 minutes, and on the way back it was 50 minutes.
Yeah, but we have a car, so we can drive there. Some people have to take trains and buses and Ubers to get there, and that's a little bit of a headache.
Right.
Anyway, regardless, it was amazing. Who cares if it wasn't packed?
And we saw Deborah Cox. She opened up.
Yeah, they were
and Allie Brooke from Fifth Harmony did too.
We didn't see her. We got there very late.
We heard her while Christian was running to the bathroom. I heard her.
I was trying to get a vodka Red Bull. It took me like
that was
20
the longest time. I'm like, why? Imagine like if the stadium was filled, what would they have done?
I don't know. But Kylie was amazing. She performed my favorite hits.
I'm mad she didn't sing On a Night Like This, but whatever. I will forgive her.
Anyway, she sang Padam Padam, which is like a cultural phenomenon right now. It's part of our lingo now.
I don't even know what it means.
You don't know what it means?
I know
it's supposed to be the sound that your heart...
Right, the heartbeat, right. Padam Padam.
But now people are using it like, okay, what are you doing this summer? Or what are you doing this weekend? You say Padam.
Oh, what are you doing? So what are you doing this week? What are you doing for July 4th, Christian?
Yeah, Padam.
Oh, you're Padaming?
So you're going to be like,
I'm Padaming in the Hamptons this weekend.
Oh,
yeah. I heard you going to the Hamptons for July 4th.
I am going.
Are you going to Padam there?
Yes, I'm going to Padam there. With you. Finally, we're going to spend some time together.
I know. How lucky.
Yeah.
Help.
That was fun. Did you like her? You saw her live once? This is my fourth time seeing her live.
I saw her live once at that intimate concert in the city at Bowery Ballroom.
Who invited you to that?
Her hairstylist. Well, you won't believe it. Like he just invited us. Like he was like, "Hey, want to come see Kylie?"
I got invited to that, and I brought just a plus one.
And then
the hairstylist wasn't expecting me to bring my boyfriend with me.
Well, yeah, because that's what you do. You hide me. Anyways, when we did,
he wasn't very happy when he saw you walking in with me.
He's like, "Oh, so like, who is this person?" I'm like, "Christian, does he know?" I remember saying, "Christian, make sure he knows."
Anyway, that was great.
We also saw her. Well, enough of Kylie. We don't need to talk about her and her padaming. What else did we want to talk about? I forgot on our list of many things.
Well, we're going to talk about Pride. What are we doing this Pride?
Oh, yeah. Pride is this week.
There's
Happy Pride.
Parties.
Happy Pride, everyone. We're going to talk about, the biggest Pride that I just came from. But before we get into that, Happy Pride. We are going to be in...
Not because you got lucky during Pride, it means that it's the biggest Pride.
It was just a fun Pride.
Well, I didn't see any. You were muted completely while you weren't there alone, so I have no idea if it was fun or not.
It was the greatest time ever.
I mean, we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but we're going to talk about New York. Did you get tickets for any party?
Yeah, we are going to Planet Pride, which is on Saturday.
Who's the headliner there?
Gorgon City is playing. It's Ty Sutherland's.
Shout out to Ty.
Shout out to Ty. We're going there. There's a couple of other parties. I mean, I want to see Purple Disco Machine in Central Park, but I don't have tickets for that. Ofer Nisim is coming from Israel here, performing Saturday night, the same night as Planet Pride. He's doing a performance with Deborah Cox, who
we just saw her.
We just saw her, but I loved her. She's amazing, and also Ofer is amazing. That venue sucks. Who would do a huge a fun DJ like that indoors?
Well, I don't think he can get that. He or she can get. Is he transition already?
I think his name's Ofer, but he's changing. He's kind of transitioning and calling herself Ofra.
Well, what is that right pronoun?
They are, I think.
Okay.
She is. I don't know what the right. I don't know.
I think
he doesn't really talk about it.
It's not that big enough. They are not big enough here in New York City to get a big venue like Planet Pride.
I feel like they should have I feel like I wish he was part of the lineup for Planet Pride.
You know what? You wish you had gotten a ticket for Horse Meat Disco.
That's on Friday. I had a ticket. I just sold it for Julian. But it's too much. Like if I do Friday and Saturday and maybe Sunday, that's a lot.
Well, you need a lot of drugs for that.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't we don't condone.
Yeah, I can only do one party and that's it, and then I need 2 days to recover, so I can only do one. And I think Planet Pride is fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a great time last year.
It's in Brooklyn, and
it's at the Mirage. The venue's amazing.
The venue is fucking amazing.
That's like the best venue that New York has ever had.
We're not going VIP this year. What do you feel about that? We barely spent time at the VIP.
I barely spent time in the VIP. I was tickets were so expensive that I was like, I didn't care. Oh, you get drinks from there.
Getting the drinks there is easy.
It's fine. It'll be easy, regardless.
Well, last year I didn't stay for long.
Yeah,
because someone left me alone and behind.
Well,
and I got very upset about it.
I wanted to go in the crowd.
Flew to the Eagle right away.
Well, we have different ways of looking at parties. Like I like going into.
You're becoming a circuit gay these
days.
I'm not. Yeah, you are. That's all you want to do.
That doesn't mean anything. That just means I like to go out. I like going in, feeling the energy, being with the crowd. I feel like it's more fun than just standing upstairs in the VIP section and holding a drink and looking at people. I feel like that's not the vibe.
I'm not looking at people.
Oh, I'm sure. You're just staring and wanting to kill me and being mad about something.
Okay, so we are doing Planet Pride. If you guys are going, we're gonna be there.
Say hi.
We're ready to take selfies.
Calm down. No one's gonna.
People stop you in Israel, and that's miles away from here.
There was a guy from, I don't know if he's from Brazil, but he's Brazilian, and he said,
wasn't that the guy that your friends took home?
No.
Okay.
And maybe he's listening. His name's Tiago.
Oh.
And he came up to me and said that he listens to the podcast. And
what? So you know what? It's been fun.
Shout out to you, Tiago, if you're listening.
Because
I thought it was funny because I'm literally in another place in the world, and some guy came up, doesn't even say, "Oh, I follow you on TikTok, I follow you on Instagram." It's oh, I heard your podcast. So it's kind of fun.
Thank you for listening.
It's awesome to hear that, honestly, because it gives me so much more. I don't know, it makes me more excited because I feel like with the podcast I get more gratification from it than posting a photo on Instagram.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was missing doing this.
You miss doing this.
Yeah, but it was your fault. You decided to stay a little longer in Israel, and by little longer I mean 2 weeks. So
someone had to extend and stay there for a little longer.
Well, you're paying rent this month.
When did I not pay rent?
Okay. Okay, so ready? Well, we don't have to do a big reveal. We're obviously talking about our trip to Israel.
We're obviously talking about our trip to Israel, Christian's first time.
Mm-hmm.
We went with Alex and Marcel, our friends, and we kind of did a very curated a balance of a lot of touristy things / just partying chill. And chilling on the beach. Exactly. It was a good balance, I feel. I wish there was another weekend. I think we should have had another weekend of partying for sure. Because I feel like we only really went out
I did stay up late 3 nights without you, so I did a lot of damage.
Good. I'm glad that you had that moment.
But I'm going there to have fun, and Moti wants to go to bed at 10 p.m.
I don't want to go to bed at 10 p.m.
I'm gonna stay up. I don't care being hungover the next day.
You had to be up at 3 a.m. for your flight. What are you talking about?
And okay, we can go on details of what happened.
Okay, we're not getting into that, but why don't you tell us how your trip was overall, Christian? Because I'll ask you the questions. Because this isn't my first time there. It's been my 30th time there.
Okay, let's talk Israel.
Let's talk about how was your overall trip. Where did you stay? What did you like? What did you this? What did you that? Give us a little bit of a synopsis.
Well, the first thing is that it is nothing. I was expecting something different.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. It's a little greener than I thought it was going to be. It's still in the middle of the desert because it's the Mediterranean. It's a little dry, but the city is a little greener. It's modern.
Yeah.
There's high-rise buildings, and that strip by the beach, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It feels very, I don't want to compare it to Miami, but it could be compared to Miami a little bit, like that hotel area.
Yeah.
So I actually fell in love with the city. That area where you took me, Jaffa.
Jaffa.
Is Jaffa or Jaffa? Because your dad was correcting me the other day.
It's two. So it's Jaffa.
Mm-hmm.
In English, it's Jaffa.
Okay.
Or in Hebrew, it's Yafo.
Okay. So we stay there, which is, I actually was my favorite area in Israel was that area. I think it was very picturesque, very cute. The Soho House is there. The hotel we were staying, the Jaffa, which is the chicest hotel
We
in
stayed at
Israel.
the Jaffa Hotel. It's probably one of my favorite hotels.
You've been running around Israel for a long time,
Yeah.
and you've been checking in the rooms of many hotels, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I have.
You know.
Oh, don't worry, I have.
Okay, so I only got to see the Jaffa, so it was chic.
Between the Jaffa is really great,
and also it's a Marriott hotel.
Yes, it's owned by the Marriott, so you get the Marriott Bonvoy, so you get those points.
Okay, so that was great. I loved it. The food was amazing. Now the people there, beware. It's the people is nice, but they bark at you. They are very aggressive. It's like a New Yorker in the subway. Well, if you're like asking for directions when you're a tourist to a New Yorker and he barks at you like, rah!
Yeah, but it's different because it's not.
Can I have some water? Rah!
It's not intentional. It's not like, it's just more like passionately speaking. It's not intentionally. They don't have.
They're very aggressive.
They're
Beware
aggressive. Yeah, it's just like the mentality.
The
but you know what is really amazing, which I don't experience this often, is I walked into, remember that day that Christian bought 2 bottles of wine from Israel and wanted to bring them to New York, and we were trying to find bubble wrap. I walked into like a random store, and this woman was like to me, while she had a customer in there, was like, I said, hey, I'm looking for bubble wrap. Obviously, I'm speaking to her in Hebrew. And she was like, oh, like this, you have to go here to the right. She comes, leaves the customer inside the store, walks out with me, walks all the way to the store with me, and says, this store should have it, and gave it to me. In New York, that would never happen. So, like, to say that they're aggressive, yeah, they're aggressive in some ways, but I feel like
well, I hear you talking to your mom and dad, and you are pretty aggressive to each other.
It's just like,
and I'm like, that's not a way to talk to your mom. And you're like, oh, that's how we talk. So now I see it firsthand. Israelis are very forward.
Forward. They're definitely forward. They're like, they also say things bluntly. They won't be like scared to tell you something.
Yeah, I know. I encountered a few. Well, actually, no. Every single guy there was so nice to me.
Exactly.
I found my fan base there.
Yeah.
What is the name of that bar?
Lila.
Yeah, shout out to Lila. They ran and got me Red Bull because they didn't have Red Bull. They made my drinks.
They really took care of you.
They really took care of me. Yes. I have to say, I was surprised. But those are followers since I was living in Aruba.
Right.
Which is insane. But I had a great time with them. And thank God they were there because you wanted to go to bed early and I have friends to stay in late.
Yeah.
Which I did. So I really had a great experience going out at night. We went to this club, Aria.
The Aria, we went out there, yeah.
With these 2 girls.
We met Tori, DeVito, and Marina.
Yeah, Marina.
We love them. They were so much fun.
Yeah.
That was just
the food scene was great. The Japanese place that we went, it's very international food. It's not only Mediterranean food.
We went to TYO for dinner. We went to Romano, which is at that courtyard. Remember that courtyard?
Yeah, with
like they had like live jazz
take
music.
notes, people.
Yeah, take notes. Actually, I feel like I wrote this all down on my stories, but
Now, one thing I'm gonna say, and I was always mentioning this. Oh, we're going to Israel. We're gonna check out the boys there because they say they're very cute. Yes, indeed, the boys are cute in Israel.
Yeah.
I won't deny it. There's a lot of Arab boys there. There's a lot of Israeli guys there, but they're not that cute. They are very good-looking men, but if you come from Latin America like me, I'm used to seeing hairy, tall, dark, handsome men. I feel like for blonde Americans or twinks or like these Arab-looking guys are like very hot, but I didn't find them that attractive. They're like good-looking men, yeah, sure, but the most good-looking guys in the world. I'm sorry. We have to give that to probably the Spanish guy.
Okay, calm down, first of all, because I feel like you weren't there for Pride. So
he's in Pride mixing with New Yorkers, people from LA, people from Miami. Why would I stay in Pride? I had the opportunity of explore the local boys without having to fight for them with all the tourists that came for Pride. Right. So I think I had the best time by not having to fight with all our friends that were there that you actually brought.
I don't think that we were fighting with any of them.
No, there were too many.
I think it was also we went to Spagat and we went to. Did we go Spagat?
No, but tell me about Pride in Tel Aviv. Why is it so amazing?
Well, before we get into that, I feel like we're still on your trip.
Okay, well, keep asking me questions. You had a long list of questions. Go through them.
I did. Okay, so wait. So your first time in Jerusalem, Thoughts on Jerusalem?
Wow, it was crazy to be there because this city is about 3,000 years old, the old city of David. And I grew up Catholic, so I know about all these places from the Bible, all the stories from the Bible. And then just being able to walk there, that was... Yeah, it is true. It's a very spiritual city. There's a lot of energy there, but I feel like that energy comes from the people that is walking around, like the people that travel just to see these places. They are really believers.
Yeah.
Because I went to the tomb of Jesus Christ where he was supposed to be buried, and like these people crying there, like people on the floor kissing the floor.
That was where he was crucified.
Yeah, and
he was crucified and then resurrected not that far away, and then you weren't there, but I went again, and they're upstairs. There's a, they said that that Jesus was buried in a cave, and they said that they couldn't find a cave. So they couldn't find a cave. And 60 years ago, I think
they found the cave.
No, this woman, there was a fire, and as they were, there was a fire in the tomb, whatever, and you're not supposed to. First of all, you can't go digging in that area because there's this whole status quo thing, like between all three groups. Like you can't do this, you can't do that. The Armenians. You're not allowed to update anything. So there was a fire. The fire led to finding out they found this cave.
So he was buried there.
Not only did they find a cave, they found a Jewish grave. A Jewish grave in a cave.
Because Jesus Christ was a Jew.
Exactly. So this is like a new development, and they now have that upstairs area where you go in and you see it, and like it's just like a.
Well, but it was fascinating to see Jewish and Muslims and Christians like just walking around and praying and like doing it in harmony and
There's a lot more there's a lot more coexistence happening than what is portrayed.
In Jerusalem, I feel.
In Jerusalem, yeah. Also in Tel Aviv, you saw where we were in Jaffa was just that's like a predominantly like Arab neighborhood.
Yeah, no. I mean, for me, when I don't want to compare the country, but it felt like a little bit like Mexico City. It felt a little bit like Portugal. It felt like a Mediterranean country, because it was my first time in the Middle East, so I didn't know what to expect. And what you're reading in the news is completely. I mean, you have this idea of Israel, like this is a war zone. It is not a war zone. There might be an area where that is happening, right?
Right.
But Tel Aviv, it felt safe. It's beautiful. I would say progressive. Seeing, because I don't think the gay community, there are no other gay communities living freely in the Middle East, only in Israel, right?
Right. Nope.
And they celebrate Pride there. I don't think that happens in Iran. I don't think that happens even in Dubai, which is another progressive Middle Eastern country, right? So that was, for me, like being able to hold your hand or give you a kiss and not being scared of getting stoned to death. That was great. Also seeing women driving and women like not half naked, but dressed sexy in the middle of the street on a Monday. A lot of this idea of Middle Eastern countries, like that I have from the past.
I feel like a lot of people think that too. Yeah,
but Israel is like, I felt like it was in like a nice coastal city from the Mediterranean, like Italy. Right? Great food, great restaurant, people vibing, having fun on a Monday night.
Oh yeah, there's like great.
Well, Monday there is like a Tuesday, but
I feel like people there like go out for dinners more than they go out for dinners here.
But you go out for dinner very late.
They go out very late. Yeah, that's what I hate that. But you know what I realized? I feel like they start their days later. I don't know. Maybe I feel like they start their day later. So like they're like, oh, we could have dinner at 10. I'm like, I don't want a dinner at 10. I'm like, I'm in bed at 10. Because we wake up so early.
Anyway, but it was great. I love that. I will definitely recommend people to go there. You need to ask Moti and Carrie for the Israel guide. He happily will send it to you.
I'll send it to you guys. Whoever wants it, just send me a DM. I'll forward to you on email. But wait,
I had amazing wine there.
You did have amazing wine.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
At the Jaffa Hotel, Israeli wine.
What about?
I want to go back to try more.
What?
When are you gonna take me back?
I mean, hopefully sooner than later.
Well, next year. It's enough. Once a year is enough.
Once a year is enough for you? Okay, great. Well, I'm planning on going at least 3 to 4 to 6 times a summer.
Don't you worry. I enjoy my time alone.
What was your favorite part of the trip?
See how happy you were seeing me there.
I was really happy.
You were so happy that I was there seeing it firsthand and experiencing it.
I was like excited. Also, Alex and Marcel, I was like I was excited for them to see it because like it's like showing a little personal
Because it's the first time you bring friends from America there.
My first time, yeah.
Yeah, because you have a very good friend there.
I had multiple good friends there. Yeah.
Should we talk about your new boyfriend there?
Christian. Oh my God, I can't with you.
Okay, so yeah, that was the fun part. My favorite part was everything. The whole trip was a great experience. I was sad to leave. I wanted to stay a little longer, but we have our boy Facebook here at home. That's the reason I came back, because the only responsible parent here is me. So, I cut my shirt up. I cut my trip short.
You cut your shit short.
Dyslexic, sorry. Because of our dog. That was the reason. But then you stay.
I stayed for a little bit
longer.
I stayed a little bit longer.
You can tell people why you stay.
I stayed a little longer because I curated another group of friends there. We brought Nikita Dragon and my friend Zaza, and Jeff was there, and also
no one knows those two.
Okay, and also my friends from Belgium came, Matthias, Ruben.
Oh, I heard stories about them.
Oh yeah, it was a great time. We had a great time. But wait, before we jump on the Pride trip, because we obviously want to talk about it.
No, I want to ask you a few questions.
I wanted to ask you about the Dead Sea. You've been talking about the Dead Sea for the entire duration of the trip, saying that you wish you could go back to that.
Okay, so here's the thing.
There.
If you're going to the Dead Sea, make sure you spend at least half a day or a full day there. Moti doesn't think it's enough. He took me for 2 hours. That is not enough.
Okay, but that wasn't our fault, because we wanted to get photos on
Don't explain. I'm gonna
just those mushroom things. No, I want to explain it. And I think if anyone's looking for those salty mushrooms, they're located, if you go to exit out Milos, the hotel, to your right, just to your right, you'll see you just have to walk 10 to 15 minutes and you'll see the mushrooms right there. Obviously, it's not a place where you should be swimming. You can't put mud on yourself there and then go in the water, because the water is clear, clean. They don't want to get it ruined. But we went there for content purposes. So it was also a cloudy day. We waited for the clouds to move. So we spent 2 hours just creating content. By the time that was finished, we then walked over to the beach. And by that time, we had only an hour left. We were there for an hour and a half.
So I want to go back.
Yeah. No, it was great. And I love the Dead Sea. For me, it's just
You've done it too many times.
I've done it so many times, but I like doing it once a trip that I go. For sure. I love going once a trip. For sure.
Okay. So it's one of the places I have always wanted to go.
Yeah.
Because it's the lowest point on Earth.
It's the lowest point on Earth.
And you hear stories about the Dead Sea, and I feel it's in the bucket list situation. You need to go see it, right? And
did it burn you?
Okay, so you float. There's no way you can sink there. You won't drown there. You might burn to death, but you can sink. And that was so cool that you were floating there without any effort. That experience was so great. It's I remember just laying there, closing my eyes. I put my ears underwater, and you are
living your best life.
You feel like you're in the womb of back when you're a baby. It's just so
How do you know
relaxing.
what that feels like?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You know everything.
Anyway, it was very relaxing, the 5 minutes that I get to do it, because that was what I have left.
Yeah.
But I just remember the four of us just enjoying ourselves there in the water. Here's the thing. You cannot get water in your eyes, because you'll see the devil.
Yeah. You won't see the devil.
And you're in the middle of it, so it's not you can rush out. You have to suffer it.
Yeah, you have to walk out.
And after 2 minutes, the pain goes away, and then your eyes are all red, but who cares? And if it gets in your mouth, it's even worse, because you try to spit it out, and it goes deeper inside your mouth.
Ugh.
Disgusting. But
I didn't even try that.
That floating sensation was just so amazing. I just love that so much. It's something that definitely I will encourage everybody to go and see. I wouldn't mind staying one night there.
Yeah.
I get it that you don't want to stay there because whatever, but
if you do a full day and you're not creating content, you just need a full day there. You don't need more than a full day.
Because you can sunbathe there and eat by the beach and
but it's a lot hotter there. The ocean, it's when you go into the water, it's not cold. The water's not cool and refreshing. It's just
it gets cooler as it goes.
As it goes down, yeah.
But it's funny. You cannot. I was standing like a cork, and you go up and down and up and down. You can't sink. Even if you swallow that water, I don't think you can fill yourself with that water and sink. You keep floating. It's because the salinity there is 10 times higher than the ocean.
Yep.
Right. So that's the reason why you're floating. But it's a must see. A must see. You have to go to Israel. You have to go to the Dead Sea, and you have to go to Jerusalem. That was such an insane experience. Yeah. And even if you're not religious at all, you should definitely see that city. It's it was built 3,000 years
Right.
ago, and it's such a privilege just to walk around those walls and see the spirituality there, see how these three religions are coexisting, and not only that, it's just
The
human history.
Yeah, the history. It's just like you feel like you're.
How do they build that city 3,000 years ago by hand without the help of any machinery? It's insane. And
well, you see the stones.
it was so beautiful,
Yeah.
and we got to well, that's not open for public.
Oh,
I don't know if I should.
I think it's opening up for the public, but I think some people could get to it because I've seen people get to it.
They took me to a tunnel.
We went to like the City of David tunnels. They're still excavating it right now because they're finding all these like artifacts and all these like different pieces of history. And it's this place where this like, what was it from? It was like from like in the City of David. It was like from the temple to the pool or something where where Jesus would walk through or something.
So
and it was that path they found.
But you have to have like a. It was for me. It was a little shocking to see because to me they look like fanatics. If you're like on the floor crying and kissing these rocks,
I just
that
feel
was a
like-
little shocking for me to see.
I think it's fine.
But
and
there's a lot of
respectful.
tourists
There's
that are
also,
like-
also at the Wailing Wall, there's people that are crying. That's what's called the Wailing Wall. People wailing, like it's just people that are connected and feel spiritual. It's their experience. And
Did you feel anything like
honestly,
that?
like I remember seeing. I don't know if it was. I feel like Marcel. I feel like I saw him like in tears a little bit.
He was in ecstasy.
Yeah. Well.
He was in ecstasy. He was having like a
Right.
moment there,
Yeah,
like
he's
an
having a moment.
epiphany
He's
or
not like
something.
he's
He
not
was
really, and he's not really religious.
If you go to Jerusalem, I would recommend 2 days is enough. One to do the city
that's what
of
we
David,
did.
and then the other day just to see the city.
You should
and
do like the old city. You should do the old city. You know, the Muslim, Jewish, Christian quarter, the Armenian quarter. Walk through everything. Do the markets because I feel like the second time when we went to Jerusalem, a lot of people spent time on the markets. We didn't really spend that much time in the markets.
What are we gonna get there?
I don't know. There's like a lot of like stuff that people wanted. I don't know. And then yeah, and then there's obviously the City of David, and then there's
We had an amazing dinner there.
Machne Yehuda. Oh, we went to Machne Yehuda that night, which is like a really fun restaurant. But there's also Machne Yehuda, the market.
Hey, but Jerusalem is a very religious city, but
Yeah.
they have pride.
Yeah, Jerusalem's a very religious city, but they still have pride.
They have pride, but it's not like a half-naked pride like in
Right,
Israel.
right.
It's more like a
It's definitely
more conservative.
it's definitely
pride.
harder to be gay in Jerusalem than it is in Tel Aviv, but you have to at least you're allowed to do it. You know, at least you can. I mean, obviously they're not going to like in the religious places like at the Holy Church and the Wailing Wall and like Al-Aqsa Mosque, like you can't like walk around with a, you know, half
And also,
naked.
if you're walking around wearing a tank top, they look at you. So you need
Yeah,
to
so
be
you
a
can-
little more.
You have to be more
modest.
modest, yeah, which is reasonable. It's
understandable.
understandable. You won't go to the Vatican City in a crop top.
Oh, watch me.
Okay. Okay. Well,
So okay,
moving on to Pride. I stayed a little bit longer. I knew I was staying a little bit longer for Pride. I told Christian that does he want to come with Marcel and Alex or does he want to come for Pride with... I asked him if he wanted to do that. He chose to come with Marcel and Alex, which is fine.
because I know what you
Which is
wanted
fine
me.
because then like I had a great vacation.
I know what you wanted me to do. To not go during Pride, so you could be
I
alone.
feel like you don't even like you said, you don't like crowds and you don't like going in the crowds. So like I feel like you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I like one-on-one.
Yeah, you like one-on-one, exactly. You don't like groups. But I was there for a couple of extra days, and then
Tell us about Pride. What happened during Pride there?
it was my first
Israel?
time in Pride. My first Pride there, ever.
So you're finally out of the closet.
Okay, relax. It was my first time in Pride there. I like didn't know what to expect because obviously I've been to like the New York one, and let me like track
Why
back.
is this different? Why is this better? What happens there?
I have only been going to like Pride events, Pride parties for like the last like 3 years, like not that many. Like, so I don't necessarily call myself a Pride expert, but I feel like the Pride here was just so, I don't know, it was just so special. Like, first of all, like you said, like next, you're looking at their neighbors, like this cannot exist. Like the idea that like, imagine we have Pride in New York, but in Jersey you can't have Pride. Like that idea kind of like, it's crazy in my head, like thinking about that, like that we're not allowed to like celebrate freedom, love is love and all that stuff right next door. So that kind of like just seeing that and like experiencing it. And also just seeing how many people from around the world came for it. Like there was like at the Pride Parade, I went upstairs and I'll show a little.
But they came for the Israeli boys.
Yeah, for sure. They came for the Israeli boys. Yeah. Well, it was a great time. But I went upstairs on the hotel and like you see the whole promenade and it was like thousands on thousands on thousands of people. Like there was 150,000 people in attendance. Like,
how many STDs you think average were transmitted that day?
probably like you're so crazy. There was like obviously there was a mix. There was like there was also straight people coming like just like be there for the party because it's a party.
Your uncle and your cousin were at the Offernism.
Yeah, well, Offernism is different. Yeah, my uncle and aunt went to the Offernism. He's like, oh, we're going to Offernism. I'm like, well, we're probably not gonna hang out because they like went into like they were sitting up by the VIP area. And I don't like being in the VIP area. Like I like being in the crowd.
So people can't see what you're doing.
Exactly. I don't want like people watching. But it was a really special moment. There was one standout moment for me during Pride. It was
that guy that you told me about.
Besides him, okay. There was a closing party. There was at the closing party. It was like 2 a.m. or something. And all of a sudden, this like singer, goes on stage.
Who is the singer?
Her name is Nasreen, I think. Is it Nasreen? I forget her name. Oh my god. It's not Nasreen because I'm thinking of Nasreen Kadri. No, I'm thinking of what's her name? Oh my god.
Who cares?
Anyways, she's a religious Jew, like religious, like she covers her hair, and she's performing at a Pride event. Like that for me was like, no, hold on. I'm gonna tell you. I need to find out the name because it's gonna drive me crazy. I have it right here. We're
paying per minute here, so try to hurry up.
Okay.
Also, how much money do you think she got paid to do this?
Her name's Narkis.
How much money Narkis got paid to sing in Pride?
I don't know, but I feel like it's promotion for her because there was like thousands of people there. But also, she was just there for like 2 songs. I remember seeing her and I was like,
why was it so shocking to see her there?
Well, like I said, she's a religious woman, covers her hair. Like, it's not common for a religious person a woman, let alone perform in front of men who are also gay. Like that for me is just, I thought it was
in Israel?
Anywhere in the world, like a religious person, like you wouldn't see like a woman performing.
Wait, what? Don't we see how
for a gay event anywhere in the Middle East? That's A, but B.
You're talking about the Middle East.
Even here in the U.S., like I wouldn't see a religious person perform for the LGBTQ community.
What do you mean? I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of like.
I don't like it's. But do you see it's not ironic, but do you see how like special that is? Like how like that I feel like was such a special moment of how open she is, and I feel like she's helping bridge this gap between the religious sector and the secular sector, and like showing like how people are people.
I get it.
I thought it was such a special moment, and like when I saw it, and like I was like seeing that, I was like, "Is that Narkis?" Like I thought that to myself. I was like, "Wow, what a moment! Like this is such a moment." Even though like
that was your favorite moment from Pride.
It was my favorite moment, but it felt like it was a defining moment in my experience and journey while I was there. Absolutely, I thought it was very special.
Good. I'm happy for you. Okay, so you'll be doing Pride on the regular now, moving forward.
I'm going there every year for sure. Like,
so I heard that also you are like transitioning from like you used to be this big blogger here in New York City, but now you're a tour guide in Israel. Is that your new venture? Is that your new job?
I'm not a tour guide, but
well, that's what you've been doing.
No, I mean like I've been going with groups and hanging out and having fun
as a tour guide.
I'm not a tour guide.
Isn't that a downgrade from like fashion icon from New York to a tour guide in Israel?
I'm not a tour guide, but more so just yeah. I mean, I don't mind like going on trips and like being there. Like first of all,
describe Israel in 3 words. Why people should visit Israel.
What do you mean describe Israel in 3 words?
Well, yeah, just say it.
Hang on, I'm going to cut you in a minute. Diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like open.
Okay. Those are good words to encourage people to go there.
Yeah.
Now, what would you tell someone hesitating to go to Israel right now?
I mean, I think like the one thing that I would tell someone is don't let media dictate your understanding of a country that you've never been to. Because what I've realized is even like this applies to anything, but the media will like teach you, educate you what they want. They will drill something in your head, what they want. I hate using the word brainwash because I think people are smart enough to understand that they're accepting that knowledge and accepting that point of view. So it's not brainwash. It's just be wary of what the media feeds you, because in the end of the day, like, they're feeding you what they want to tell you. So if you're right now in New York, there's a shooting in New York every other hour here, but they're not putting it on the media. Like, should we be scared to leave our apartment? Whenever you really drill on one little thing and one situation and then just completely cover it and be like, well, this is Israel, like, it's wrong. It's a wrong way of thinking. And the best way to experience a country is seeing it for yourself.
I know. I was very surprised. I can't wait to go back again. I love that. I really want to go there and spend more time.
And I've met so many. What was really special about this trip is, like, I met a lot of Muslims. I met a lot of Christians. I've made friends with them.
Oh, didn't you tell me that story?
I did. In Jerusalem one day, I left the group. I was going back to Tel Aviv, and I needed to figure out.
You wanted to meet a grinder hookup.
I needed to get to Tel Aviv because I was flying that night to New York, and I thought, like, I don't know why I thought the train station was a lot closer. And when I left the group, I get there, and then, like, I asked this guy, I'm like, hey, like, do you know I get to, like, which bus will take me? And then I'm like, do you think they'll take, like, in the back of my head, I thought they'll probably take credit card. I had no cash on me, and this guy who was, like, Arab Muslim, he's like, hey, look, like, I'm driving to the train station. Do you want to I'll give you a ride. And I was like, oh my God, you're so nice. Like, thank you. And he's like, oh, if not, I'll give you cash. He ended up taking me to the train station and gave me 20 shekels, like, he's like, you're going to need cash because they don't take credit card on the tram. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's like, he doesn't know me. I'm like, it's just.
Well, I mean, you have this Jewish American princess look on you.
Jewish American princess look on me. No, he thought I was Israeli because he thought I was like, he thought I lived there.
Maybe he liked you.
You know what? I thought that for a second. I was like, maybe he's into me. But he was so nice. And, like, there's this preconceived, like, in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what if, like, he's taking me somewhere? Like, I thought, like, I'm getting, like, taken or something. And, like, that did cross my head. And, like, I feel like it's such a wrong way of thinking because it's, again, what I'm listening to outside of the country. But I just feel like, and I had open conversations with him, like, talking about the country and how he lives, and he while he loves it, like, he also feels like there's obviously downsides. And I'm like, and I looked at him like, just so you know, that exists in any single city, any single group of people everywhere in the world. Literally, I told him that because I'm like, what you're saying to me, I experienced that in New York. So it was just funny to see that, and he was just, I don't know, it was awesome having that experience and getting to talk to him. His name's David. And his name's David.
Isn't that a Jewish name?
It is a Jewish name, but he told me his name was, like, in Arabic, he said something. I forgot what it was called, but, like, Dawid or something. Dawid, I don't know, something like that. And he was like, David in English. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I thought that was an interesting experience.
Well, I really love that. I will encourage people to go to Israel. It's fun, like you said. It's open. It's safe. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
There's good weather during. When is the best time to go? Summertime, or is it summertime too hot?
Honestly, I think the time period that we went, like, I think June's a great time. End of May, June, the whole month of June, I think is great. Then I would even say the beginning of July, but it gets really hot in August.
Yeah, but I know it's cold during winter, right?
It's not that
But
cold.
you cannot go to the beach in sunbathe.
Correct. Right.
So the best time if you are looking to, like, have, like, a warm
I would say, like,
vacation.
May to October.
Those are definitely. Maybe next year I'll go for Pride and ruin it for you.
Well, please don't ruin it for me.
Actually, that's what I'm doing.
But also, Bruno Mars is performing in October there, so maybe we'll go.
Are you gonna bring me?
Yeah, maybe we'll go watch him perform. Maybe we'll go Uptown Funktown in Tel Aviv.
I would love that. Okay. That was great. So now we are gonna answer.
We're doing a new segment of Ask MC.
Yeah. Do you have the questions ready?
Do you have the questions ready?
Yeah, well, I have them here. Let's see. These are Moti, you ask. Come on.
Okay.
You're the moderator here.
Okay, question. Out of all these thousands and thousands of questions that you guys sent at home.
All those are great.
They are really great.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's talk about, like, this last one. Do you buy all your clothes, or are they all PR gifts?
This sounds very silly to talk about.
I feel like it is silly to talk about, but I feel like we should
All right,
address
first
it.
I'm going to start. We do get a lot of clothing
Yeah.
gifted. A lot. Well, it used to be a lot more in the past.
It used to be a lot more, I feel.
But
we're also being conscious. We're not like accepting everything nowadays too.
No,
like I don't accept everything. Or if I'm not interested in something, I won't reply. Or I'll be like, oh, sorry. Like it's hard for me to like say no to something because
we do buy a lot of clothing.
We do.
I do buy a lot of clothing. I don't own a property. I own a ton of clothing. It's like Carrie says.
She says,
I like to see my
money hanging in my closet.
And that's what happens to me. I have to admit I spend too much money on clothing. I don't get everything gifted. I wish I get everything gifted. But I love fashion. And like if I see something and I want it, I find a way to get it.
What's the percentage of things that you get gifted versus things that you get?
Well, you know what? In the past, I was too cheap to spend money in clothing. And I was just asking for it, basically. I used to loan clothing. I didn't have to buy. But right now, I like keeping some things. And I will say 50-50.
Oh, wow.
I've been buying a lot lately. I shouldn't. But you know what? If I want something, I find a way to get it. And I'm very smart about getting clothing. I know where to get it. There's a bunch of websites where you can get current collections for half the price.
Christian's so good at that.
I am amazing at that. Sometimes you see me wearing something very expensive, but believe me, I pay 50 off. Or I have friends working in the industry, and I get their discounts. I rarely pay full price for something unless it's
limited edition.
Whatever. But I do buy a lot of clothing. Don't think that everything that I am wearing is gifted. Though today, I think everything I'm wearing is gifted. But
I actually bought my Converse.
What about you? What's the percentage?
I would say like I get a lot. I get a couple designer things gifted, and then I do buy a lot. I would say probably like 60% gifted, 40% buy.
Yeah, but we do buy on sales like everybody else.
Actually, maybe even like 70% gifted, 30% buy.
We're smart about buying things.
I'll buy like twice a year, like during the end of unless I see something that I love. Like I love that Amiri set, and like I only wore it twice, but I
also when you buy a piece of clothing, I recommend you think, how many times am I gonna wear it?
Yeah.
If you say more than 10 times, then yeah, go for it. But if it is a one, because I sometimes buy those Versace shirts, wear them once or twice, and then they're hanging in the closet. I learned my lesson now.
Yeah.
I don't get them. I get like the things that I know that I'm gonna wear, like those Versace boots that I have, those cowboy boots that I have for 5 years.
You wear them all the time.
Those are the most expensive shoes I ever have to pay for.
Also, my Celine boots, like I wear them all the time.
But I wear them all the time. So when you're buying a piece, make sure
you're
gonna wear it 20 times at least, and then it's worth the investment, especially if it's a designer piece. But yeah, to answer the question, because I've been asked that many times. Yes, I do buy clothing, but yes, I do get a ton of clothing for free.
Yeah.
And it's not for free. You have to wear it.
Yeah.
You have to style it. You have to create reels. You have to create content. You have to wear it to events. Like you have to showcase it. It's not like, oh, it's thrown at you and I do nothing with it.
Exactly.
They're expecting something in return. It's part of being a content creator.
Exactly. Christian, how do you feel about marriage?
I feel great. I don't think it's necessary, right? And
I remember the first time I met you, you said that to me. Actually, You're like, I don't think
it's necessary to get married.
But if you get married, you want to get married in a brown suit. That's what you told me.
And I stick to it. If I ever have a big wedding party or something like that, I will be wearing a brown suit. What do I think about marriage? Well, I saw my parents married for over 50 years, and they will be together if my dad didn't pass away. I'm pretty sure they will be together. Wow. So I do believe in marriage. I do think that concept have changed a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to get married, go for it. Why not? I just don't think it's necessary to tell the world that you love someone, right?
Right.
What do you think about marriage? Because you come from a very small Jewish community where you get married at 16, and that's weird to me.
They get married at like 18, 19.
Yeah.
2021.
But it's 2023, and you shouldn't be getting married when you're 16.
I don't think that there should be any rules like that. Like, oh, you should. Yeah, I think 21, 22 is young, and I think like you should wait till you're at least 25. But also like the women's body, they have a clock on them. You know, like if they want to have kids, and in our community, like they want to have kids. So it makes sense for them to get married younger because like they want a big family. It's hard to like have a baby and then like boom, boom. I don't know what it's like, but I do know like from some women that I know that it isn't the easiest thing to get pregnant, you know? So like, I think.
Okay, well, you're moving away from a marriage. It's beautiful. If that's what you want,
Well, you
go for it.
You brought up the whole like,
If
you shouldn't get married when
no,
you're
well,
18.
but I mean, if marriage have changed. My parents got married when they were very, very, very young.
My parents do. They got married
Right
when they
now,
were 21.
I have girlfriends that are 40 and that are looking to still get married. And I'm like, you don't have to get married.
Right. I don't feel like in the straight world, I feel like it's more necessary than it's necessary in the gay world. As weird as that sounds.
Well, we're allowed to get married now.
Yeah, we're allowed to get married, but like I don't feel like you said, it's like just like a piece of paper. Like I get why people
but
get
that piece
married.
of paper sometimes is
if
helpful.
We have kids, if we have kids, and like, you know, I think it'd be nice to show them our wedding and like show them.
You only want to. It's the party for you, right?
It's the party. Like I want to have a good time with all the people that I.
That's the only reason you.
What is it for you? Like, oh, to get a piece of paper.
Basically.
Yeah, that's what you want.
To lock it down.
To lock me up. Well, we're gonna have to sign that prenup.
Don't make me open my mouth here right now.
Okay, well, moving on to the next question. It's anonymous. He said, I'm anonymous. I've been married for 4 years. We are reaching the end, and it's hard to accept. Any advice? Christian.
I mean, any advice? Yes, I'm gonna tell you something. I've been in many, well, not many, but I've been in a couple of.
You've been. What were we about to say? You've been in many marriages.
I've been in long relationships in the past, and it's hard to let go. But I have been lucky to fall in love again.
Yeah, lucky you.
Lucky me. So you might think at the time it's the worst thing that could happen to you, but you can bounce back, and you will bounce back. You won't die from love. So it is hard to let go. It is if you're still in love with that person, then it's harder. If you feel like the love is fading, then believe me, the best for you to do is let it go and try to find happiness with someone else or find happiness with yourself.
You're
right?
giving leaky energy right now.
I'm giving leaky energy right now. I'm not leaking any energy right now. All my energy is putting towards you.
Well,
shut up. But hey, I know it is. It's
definitely difficult.
It's a big change in your life.
It's a big change in your life. It's definitely hard to accept because something that's such a drastic change in your life, but.
Because you get used to the person, you don't want to start over. I know it might sound lazy.
Instead of, you know, not crying and mourning about what happened, maybe just celebrating the amazing relationship that you did have during those 4 years, because maybe you will find someone else that gives you that, you know, that feeling. No.
But you need to mourn and cry when something is dying.
But, right. I agree. I understand it's okay to be sad, but what I'm trying to say is like, you know, instead of like mourning the person's life, you celebrate their life. Like, you know, like just like in a relationship, like you want to like.
We don't know what's going on here.
Right. I don't know more details.
The only thing I'm gonna do.
But it sounds like he's trying to. It's hard for him to accept, but you know.
There's love out there for you. It's not the end of your story.
It's not the end of your journey.
It's the end of a chapter, and there's a new one, and you can be even happier. It's the end of
a volume, and volume 2 is coming soon. So you know what? Like there's someone out there that's gonna love you, and you're gonna get those butterflies, and you're gonna be happy, and you're gonna love him.
Do you miss those butterflies, motherfucker?
I still have them.
Okay, good.
I mean,
I'll make sure they're alive. I'll try to put new ones every day.
Good. Yeah, just bring those caterpillars and just shove them.
Okay. But there's love out there.
There's love out there.
There's life after love.
Do you believe me?
Okay, what's the last one?
The last question, our last question. And this is like, I didn't really want to answer this question.
But
because,
let's do it.
Okay. Is how many times a week should a couple have sexual intercourse?
Every day, every morning. That is the answer. Well, if it was up to me, it was every day,
that is so
every
much
morning.
Yeah, well, that is so much work.
For you.
It's probably like depends on, you know. Every couple is different. Let me start with that. Every couple is different. Everyone's needs are different.
Well, but that's my answer.
What do they describe as sex? I would say once a week is a normal
once number. A week?
Once a week is a normal number.
We used to be little rabbits at the beginning.
I'm sure everyone are always little rabbits. whenever
it
in the
fades
beginning.
away, and then when it's over, with that passion is when you open the relationship. We had a whole episode about open relationship, but hey, there's not an amount. I cannot tell you how many times you're gonna have sex with your partner. It's depending on the feeling, on the mood. If you have the time,
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for me, if I have to settle on a number and every day it's like wishful thinking, because that's not gonna happen, I would say 4 times a week should be okay.
Fortunately, wow, that's a lot of work.
You are so lazy. Whenever I dump you and you're back in the market, you guys remember what he's saying. He's
4 times a
lazy
week?
fuck.
I feel like 4 times a week, like, okay, sure. Maybe twice a week. Once a week, I feel it also depends on the relationship. Like, it depends how long they've been
the drug
together.
you're taking.
It depends how long they've been together for. Is this the beginning part of the relationship? Is it like, are they long distance and just see each other on weekends? Like, it just depends. I feel like there's a lot of variables that dictates that.
So if ballpark number, or what do you think is acceptable?
Once a week.
You listen to him, ladies and gentlemen. Don't with me, or in general.
In general.
So you think couples should have sex once a week?
If they're in a relationship for a long time, yeah.
Okay, I like that number. Well, this has been everything. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with a special guest.
With a special guest?
I don't know, but we have to bring someone.
Yeah.
I can keep talking to you. I need someone else.
Oh, you're over me?
Yeah,
In a minute, you're about to get kicked out.
Yeah.
You just had a 3-week vacation.
And yeah. Okay, but we're
Well,
coming back next week.
thank you for tuning in for another episode of Bickering with Moti and Christian.
Before he goes on a trip again.
And we say this on every single episode, but if you made it here all the way till the end, please rate our podcast, give us 5 stars, like and follow and do all that fun stuff. We're on Instagram at Bickering Podcast, at Moti and Kari, at Christian Benek. And we will see you next week.
And one thing, this is to that very, very end, but I keep getting hate comments from
Oh my God, that video.
That video that I made about
It was a
you
joke.
said shit. It was fucking, it's satire.
It was a joke.
I was trying to be funny.
There was a comment on there and I was this close of like replying and I was like, you know what? Not worth it.
It is a joke. People are so sensitive. You don't believe everything.
Well, you know what? I had a feeling that was going to like backfire.
Well,
like,
it's good because we grew on following and
Yeah.
that is going viral. So thank you. But it was obviously
it's
a
still
fucking joke.
people are still coming for us
All right.
on that.
Thank you.